Guys and girls, the impossible possible juggle. When you've got a place to sell, you've found a place you want to buy, we're going to give you some short, sharp tips. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning.
Good morning. Big 2025, first one to start us off for the year, Mark.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. Hey, I saw a great idea this morning and I just want to share with you.
Yes, and what's that?
I saw a truck called Potholes Sydney and it said $99. We can quick, easily and reliable fix your pothole.
Really?
What a
They,
great
they,
idea.
they might be busy on Sydney's roads with the amount of potholes you see around, hey?
Why didn't I think of that?
I know that's normally something you'd come up with, a little gimmick that solves all your solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I got to tell you, this is a big topic that we're talking about, and it's a huge one where people, they've got their finance organised, they're living in a great place, they want to get out of it, they've seen something they like. Can you explain to me why this is so hard in people's mind before we get into some strategy?
Yeah, I really think it's, that step, the first step is actually really the biggest one. So I feel like just getting moving in the direction of, making those moves is probably the biggest thing or the most daunting for people. I know speaking from a lot of people recently who are looking to make that move, who are say at Beacon Hill, Davidson, want to make the move down to say Freshwater, North Curl. These are the conversations we've been having. And it's generally the first step of, where do I go? How do I simultaneously ensure that I'm selling my property in time to purchase, or I find something to purchase by the time I've sold? So it's that first step, I think. And then once making that first step, which we'll talk about, it only gets easier and easier. What about you, Mark? What have you seen?
Look, I think the catalyst seems to be actually putting it on the market. I don't know how to, and what I mean by that is a lot of agents' strategy is put your seatbelt on. We're going to take you for a friggin' massive roller coaster ride. Your hair's going to be in the air. We're going to turn you upside down. You're going to go quick left, quick right, and then you're going to be sold at the end. And a lot of people are like, I'm not ready for that. So they just don't do anything. They don't get a buyer through. They don't get a contract prepared. They don't get anything done on their place. And probably one of the first parts and probably the biggest parts of my advice is just get it on. Choose your agent, authorize that agent, and get through their database. And I think you find there starts to become this flow, whereas it just chokes up right at the beginning before you even start.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And I think introducing that what we call a soft launch helps just calm those nerves. I know some people aren't the biggest on your big signboards out the front, that sort of a thing. So I think you're exactly right in saying just get it on the market, get it through the database. And these are the conversations we've been having with clients. Like what I like to say to them is, guys, we're trying to paint a picture for you. And how are we meant to paint that picture, put that puzzle together if we don't know what the pieces look like? So I think getting that feedback from buyers and knowing where your value sits is quite an important piece of information, and that then goes on to paint the rest of the picture of how much you're borrowing, what can I buy, where am I going to be looking. So I think definitely just gives you that sense of not what ifs, but a bit more concrete in regards to getting that solid buyer feedback, because RP data, realestate.com, all these websites can spit out whatever numbers at whatever time. But nothing beats your buyer feedback and running some buyers through. So yeah, definitely agree with you there, Mark.
And Josh, I think you've got to tell the agent where the goalposts are. Sometimes, the agent walk through. It's very cookie cutter. It's like, this is what we do. This is how we do it. I call it FIFO, fit in or fuck off. It's like, this is what we do, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I think as a seller, dump on your real estate agent, let them know exactly what you're trying to achieve and ask them for solutions to backbone that. Because I often find that when you just get your property on the market, now, I think one of the strongest principles out of today that I would say is sell first for the highest price, take time. Buy later for the lowest price, take time. Time is very, very important. Not to rush it. You rush your sell, and you rush your buy, then you're rushing your sell. So you've got to be taking time to get these results. But I think at that pre-market that you do, that I do, that we do, I think is a really nice segue. It's very metal on metal, your campaign. You need a bit of lubrication. And I think, that pre-market is that segue to getting started into your selling campaign.
Yeah, definitely right. I think that soft approach and it almost conditions you as the seller as well to get ready for that next step if you need to take it by going online. So, yeah, I want a very good point, but from our very own Lisa Novak. You can negotiate a long settlement to give yourself time to breathe and find a new home. This can be made reducible, and that's exactly right. So, guys, having that longer settlement period, and we're talking, 22 weeks, 6 months settlement, with the ability to then bring that forward once the other party or yourselves have found that home. So, Lisa's exactly right. You can find that buyer, you can find that price, and you can lock in terms that are going to suit you so that you can go and give yourself that time to find what you need. And like Mark said, don't rush into any decision. So there's always a solution. It's just a matter of who you're using in terms of what agency. Some are going to have more solutions than others, and that's about picking the right people. But good point there, Lisa. Thank you.
So that's a reducible settlement you can ask for to go into the contract. It can be negotiated. Just to expand on that, you can say, look, I want to settle on the purchase that I'm buying in 20 weeks or 16 weeks or 12 weeks. You negotiate it. And then you say, look, but if I sell my property and the buyer that buys my property wants to be in there in 4 weeks, I want to be able to reduce that 16-week settlement, 20-week settlement, whatever you've agreed to, down to 4. So that all pre-negotiated. It does get renegotiated. It does exist. Another one that I love is using the person that bought your property's deposit to buy your next property.
Yeah, another big one. Do you want to expand on that one, Mark?
You go for it, mate.
So
give us your best shot.
So it just explaining that again, that's an early deposit release to buy your next one, correct?
Spot on.
Yeah, so in this circumstance, guys, obviously when selling your property, your solicitors will agree to your 5% deposit, wherever it may be, to exchange. What Mark's referring to is basically where both parties agree for the new purchaser to release that deposit before settlement. And from there, obviously using those funds to go and make your next purchase. So I believe that's what Mark's describing.
Having that $100,000 in your account or $200,000 in your account to go and buy something, who has that? It's pretty rare. So having that deposit available, that's just when you've sold your place, it's, the buyer puts that 10% in. On your property, it sits in the agent trust account mutually on your behalves. If you agree, prior or after the exchange, it can get released to you to go and buy the next place. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and something else I just want to touch on with, especially to Lisa's point and what we've been speaking about, getting it on market. Guys, nothing's worse than all of a sudden that perfect property comes along and you've made the right offer, you've done the due diligence, but your terms let you down. Now, that's why we say get ahead of the ball game, get it on market, get some of those responses and feedback so that when you do see that perfect property, a lot of the hard work has already been done. Essentially, the photos, floor plan, we've presented the property. We might just switch the button and we're online and start running open homes, and you could be, sold within the 14, 21 day average. So that would be my biggest point, is just making sure you're taking that first step ahead so that if you do want to move, if you're finding that property and it pops up, you don't want to lose it for terms. And that is the sort of market we're seeing at the moment, where there's more than one bidder for a property. So I think your terms are very important. And that's why it's such a big topic about, if you are considering selling or making the move, give it a go about what we're talking about. Pre-market, soft introduction, at least gets you ahead of the ball game in making those bigger decisions down the track.
And don't forget, Lisa just mentioned deposit bonds. Deposit bonds are great because if you've got your finance approved and your property sold, you can go to a bond provider who gives you a 10% deposit or a 5% deposit. So they do exist. Ask your finance person. Josh, before we go, today we have spoken about buy first, sell first, the impossible possible juggle. Are there any tips you can give people out there that are experiencing this?
I think the tip would be, guys, the pre-market, the soft introduction, just getting the headway. I mean, we're obviously going to start seeing a lot more stock come online as we start the working start of the year. So my big tip would be soft market approach, and obviously with Novak's $0 marketing special, you can't go wrong. So that would be my tip. Give us a call and let us just explain to you the process and how incredible it is at $0 cost.
It is. And look, a big part of it, guys and girls, is fully just being completely straight up with your agent. Give them the problems. See if they can give you solutions. They're the agent that you want to get you the best price as well. So just work with your agent. Hopefully we helped you today, and if you know anyone in this situation, forward this episode to them.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks. See ya. Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks, Josh. You're a legend.
You too, mate. Bye.
Do we still say Happy New Year now, or is it too late?
I think we're past that now, aren't we?
Happy Australia Day. See ya.
See ya.